Today it's the turn of the Boss Vocoder VO-1 pedal. It's a fantastic bit of kit. It looks like all the classic Boss pedals and is built to the same rugged quality, and it also performs extremely well like everything else in the range. Now we've got a 1/4 inch input on here. We've also got a microphone input. Now vocoder, it means what it says. It codes your vocals. That is, it mixes your vocals with another instrument like a guitar. I've got my keyboard here which I'm going to play through it again in a minute. So just we've got a blend control here. The pedal is off at the moment, so you're just hearing the Telecaster just straight through. However, if I switch the pedal on, you can't hear anything unless, of course, you say something in the microphone. And you've got to try and time those words. I shot the sheriff. The dad did not shoot no deputy. But because the guitar doesn't do anything on its own, only with the mic, you could just hold a chord. I shot the sheriff. And just modulate it with your vocals. Now at the moment we're on a vintage vocoder, so it sounds quite sort of 70s and sort of quite dark. So I can play single lines and bends on the guitar. I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot no deputy. Yeah. Now I have a tone and colour control on here as well. The tone control really just ramps up the treble response. So if I turn it all the way up, you get all of your sibilants, and of course if you turn it the other way, it's sort of a darker sound. Depends what you really want. So colour, that turns it into, really decides between rather male and female vocals. So that's a sort of male vocal, and then if you turn it around, it's sort of chipmunky really the other side, but you can get sort of female vocals at sort of 2 o'clock. And you can vary that there. We have the advanced vocoder here, which is basically a sort of a modern take on it. The tone and colour controls do sort of similar things. 1, 2, 2, 2. But it sounds a little bit tighter as a thing. Now I'm going to disconnect the guitar and just carry on with the keyboard so that you can hear another sound going through it. So if I just take that away and then just plug my guitar in. Like so. So I've got a keyboard that's just connected via GarageBand actually. It's just a GarageBand synth sound. But with some vibrato and pitch control added, so that means that we've got an extra level of expression with the vocoder that perhaps wouldn't have been there with the guitar, for example. Now, if I just turn the blend control all the way back so that we've got no keyboard sound there, if I then say something, 1, 2, 3. You can hear that the vibrato modulated onto my vocals, especially if you've got a high chord. 1, 2. Now if I just turn it back to a vintage. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't stop moving to the funky beat. I thought it was you. I thought it was you. Didn't do anything with this. Now the Talkbox around the side here, this is a bit more of a sort of gritty version. It's really modelled on the Dunlop classic Talkbox. I've got the Rocktron Banshee. It's a very similar thing, an amplifier with a tube that goes in your mouth where you can shape the sounds, and it's usually quite overdriven. Similar sort of thing with this. If I just turn the tone control up a bit. 1, 2. It's just a slightly. Really, it's a slightly sort of unrefined version, if you will, of the vocoder, but a very different sound. Now, with the choir sound at the left-hand side, anything you put through the pedal, it just outputs its choir synth really nice. If you could do that with a Telecaster as well, you just put a chord through it. And you get sort of different vowels and things with the colour control. That's properly flexible. And then the tone control does that, sort of just ramps up the high end, or indeed attenuates it. So there we are, the Vocoder VO-1 by Boss. Fantastic pedal. Anything can be done with this.